Hey there! If you are a parent, a grandparent, a teacher, or simply someone who spends any amount of time around young children, you have almost certainly said these two exact words: good job. It is practically a reflex in our modern society. A toddler successfully puts a wooden block on top of another block, and we immediately clap our hands and say, good job. A preschooler scribbles a completely unrecognizable circle on a piece of paper, brings it to us, and we instantly beam with pride and say, oh wow, good job. We say it when they eat their vegetables, we say it when they put their shoes on the right feet, and we say it when they share a toy with their sibling. We say it with the absolute best of intentions. We love our children deeply, and we want to build up their self-esteem. We want them to feel proud, confident, and secure. But what if I told you that this automatic, well-meaning phrase might actually be doing the exact opposite of what you intend? What if constantly saying good job is secretly undermining your child's internal motivation and making them less resilient? Today we are going to dive deep into the fascinating psychology of praise. We are going to look at why generic praise can actually backfire, how it inadvertently creates praise junkies, and what you should be saying instead to raise truly confident, self-motivated, and resilient human beings. Before we get into the alternatives, we have to understand the underlying neuroscience and psychology of what happens when we praise a child. It all comes down to the critical difference between intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is when you do something simply because you enjoy it. The reward is the activity itself. Extrinsic motivation is when you do something to get an external reward, like a sticker, a piece of candy, or in this case, verbal praise and approval from a parent. When children are born, they are naturally bursting with intrinsic motivation. Have you ever watched the baby try to learn how to walk? They pull themselves up, they wobble, they fall down, and they immediately try again. They're not doing it because they want you to say good job. They're doing it because they are deeply internally driven to master their physical environment. The joy of the accomplishment is entirely their own. But as they grow, our constant verbal evaluations begin to shift that balance. When we constantly say good job every single time they complete a minor task, we are slowly training their brain to seek that external validation. We are inadvertently hijacking their natural intrinsic drive and replacing it with a craving for extrinsic rewards. Every time you say good job, your child's brain gets a tiny, highly concentrated hit of dopamine. As we discussed in previous videos, dopamine is the brain's reward chemical. It feels incredibly good. Over time, the child's brain begins to crave that dopamine hit. They start drawing pictures not because they enjoy the feeling of the crayon on the paper, but because they want the dopamine rush of your approval. You'll start to notice the signs of a praise junkie when your child finishes a drawing and immediately looks up at your face to see your reaction before they even look at their own artwork. They are no longer evaluating their own effort. They have outsourced their self-worth entirely to your opinion. If you are busy and you forget to give them that generic praise, they feel a sudden crash in their self-esteem. They wonder, is my drawing not good? Am I not a good kid today? This dynamic gets even more complicated when we look at the groundbreaking psychological research of Dr. Carol Dweck from Stanford University. She spent decades studying the concepts of the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset, and her findings on how we praise children completely revolutionized child psychology. She found that the specific words we use to praise children directly shape how they view their own intelligence and abilities. When we give person-focused praise, like saying, "You are so smart," "You are so talented," or "You're such a good boy," we are promoting a fixed mindset. We are telling the child that their success is due to a fixed, innate trait that they were just born with. At first glance, telling a child they are smart seems like a wonderful thing to do, but Dr. Dweck's research revealed a massive hidden danger. If a child believes they succeeded because they are inherently smart, what happens when they inevitably face a difficult challenge and they fail? Their brain immediately jumps to a devastating conclusion. If success means I am smart, then failure must mean I am dumb. Children who are constantly praised for their innate intelligence become absolutely terrified of making mistakes. They start to actively avoid challenging tasks because they don't want to risk losing their label of being the smart kid. Their entire identity becomes fragile, resting on a pedestal of constant success and external validation. So if we can't say good job and we can't tell them they are smart, what on earth are we supposed to say? Do we just stare at them in silence when they accomplish something great? Absolutely not. We want to connect with them and celebrate their victories, but we need to shift our language from evaluating them to encouraging them. Here are 5 deeply effective, psychology-backed strategies to completely transform the way you praise your children. Strategy number 1 is to praise the process, not the person. This is the cornerstone of building a growth mindset. Instead of praising their innate intelligence or the final outcome, you want to hyper-focus your praise on the effort, the strategy, the focus, and the perseverance they use to get there. If they bring you a good grade on a math test, instead of saying, "You are so smart," try saying, "Wow, I saw how incredibly hard you studied for this test all week. Your hard work really paid off." If they build a huge block tower, don't say, "You are a master builder." Say, "I noticed how carefully you placed that bottom block so the whole tower wouldn't fall down. You really thought about your strategy." By praising the process, you are teaching them that success is entirely within their control. You are teaching them that their brain is like a muscle that grows stronger with effort. When they eventually face a failure, they won't think they are stupid, they'll simply think they need to try a different strategy or work a little bit harder. Strategy number 2 is to use descriptive praise. Think of yourself as a neutral but enthusiastic sportscaster narrating their actions. When you say "good job," you're passing a judgment. You're evaluating them. Descriptive praise removes the judgment entirely and simply states what you see. It proves to the child that you are genuinely paying attention to them. If they draw a picture, instead of saying, "That's a beautiful picture," you can say, "Wow, look at this. You used so much bright red paint in the center, and you drew 3 large circles right here. Tell me about your drawing." By describing what you see, you're showing them that you value their work enough to truly observe it, without forcing your own adult evaluation onto it. This allows the child to feel seen and validated while keeping their intrinsic motivation completely intact. Strategy number 3 is to ask questions and let them evaluate themselves. We want to raise adults who have an internal compass, who know their own worth without needing a boss or a partner to constantly validate them. We build that internal compass by asking questions. When your child brings you a Lego creation, bounce the evaluation right back to them. Ask them, "Wow, you worked on this for a long time. What's your absolute favorite part of this spaceship?" Or ask, "How did you figure out how to make those 2 weird pieces fit together like that?" Or simply say, "You look so proud of yourself right now. Are you happy with how it turned out?" By asking questions, you are training their brain to look inward for validation, rather than looking outward. You are teaching them that their own opinion of their hard work is the most important opinion in the room. Strategy number 4 is specific to behavior, and it's to replace generic praise with gratitude. We often tell kids "good boy" or "good girl" when they do something helpful, like picking up their toys or helping to set the table. But classifying a child as fundamentally good or bad based on their compliance is a dangerous psychological game. It makes their core identity feel conditional. Instead of evaluating their character, simply express genuine gratitude. When they pick up their shoes, say, "Thank you so much for putting your shoes in the closet. That really helps keep our hallway clear so nobody trips." When they help their little brother, say, "I really appreciate how you helped him reach that toy. That was very kind of you." Gratitude focuses on their contribution to the family team. It makes them feel deeply valued and respected as a capable human being, rather than feeling like a trained pet performing tricks for a treat. Strategy number 5 is perhaps the most powerful word in the English language when it comes to childhood development. It's the power of the word "yet." When a child is struggling with a task, they will often get frustrated and declare, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good at math," or "I can't tie my shoes." A fixed mindset tells them that their current inability is a permanent state. Your job is to gently intervene with the word "yet." When they say, "I can't tie my shoes," you warmly reply, "You can't tie your shoes yet. You are still learning, and it takes a lot of practice." Adding that simple 3-letter word completely changes the neurological pathway in their brain. It reframes their failure from a permanent dead end into a temporary roadblock on the path to inevitable success. It maintains their hope and encourages perseverance. Breaking the good job habit is incredibly difficult. It's so deeply ingrained in our vocabulary that you're going to catch yourself saying it multiple times a day. Don't panic and don't feel guilty. When you catch yourself saying good job, just mentally pause, take a breath, and follow it up with a specific observation. Good job, I really noticed how hard you worked on the blue part of that painting. Changing your language takes time, patience, and practice, just like everything else in parenting. But by shifting away from generic praise and moving towards encouraging effort, describing their actions, and asking thoughtful questions, you're giving your child an incredible psychological gift. You're protecting their natural love of learning. You're building a bulletproof internal sense of self-worth, and you're raising a truly resilient human being who is ready to take on the world. If you found this deep dive into the psychology of praise helpful and you want to keep exploring how to raise emotionally healthy humans, we would absolutely love for you to join our growing community. Hit that subscribe button and stick around. We are on this journey of decoding human behavior together, and we are so glad you are here. Leave a comment down below telling us what your default praise phrase is and how you're going to try to change it this week. I read every single comment and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Take care until then.